Greetings fellow captains and welcome back to World of Warships with the Hive Hand, and today we're going to look at the Tier 6 German cruiser, the Yorck. Now this ship is, I don't know, it seems to be a bit of a grey area because all the ships in World of Warships Legends are meant to have been existing, and the Yorck kind of sits in a bit of a grey area. Now there was SMS Yorck, which was a Rune class battle cruiser, but the Rune class battle cruiser had 4 boilers, 4 central stacks, and it was a Rune class. The Yorck doesn't look like a Rune class cruiser at all, but there is the Esent Yorck class battle cruiser, which does resemble the Yorck in the game a lot. In its sort of design, its characteristics, and its gun layout. Now, the Esent Yorck battlecruiser, although they did begin to get built, I don't think they were ever completed. Obviously, if you know a bit more about this ship, please drop comments. Drop a comment below. It seems to be, like I said, a ship of some contention on the forums. So we're going to dive right in. The match is starting up here, and we're going to look at getting to know your ship. As you've seen, I barely got 1600 XP with this ship. I've played it once. This is my second battle. First battle was absolutely atrocious. I think I'd done 18,000 damage before dying to another Yorck. So we had a quick look. Obviously, always important. Have a quick look. See what you're fighting against at the beginning of the battle. Particularly with ships like this that have, like, 10-second plus reload time, you want to be predicting what you're going to be shooting at, where it's going to be coming from, and the turrets are the first thing I noticed about the Yorck. The turrets turn very, very slowly. It's actually better to focus your guns in a direction and then turn the ship to whatever you need to shoot. So we're detected. We've not spotted anything back. Obviously, this is going to be a destroyer. I'm assuming he's coming across from east to west, and he's gone behind that island. And the second thing that's detected is an Iowa. So we're going to try and use some of this very short 30-odd second, 40-second smoke screen from the... I don't know which ship it is exactly. It's a British cruiser, obviously, because they're the only ones that have such short range duration smoke screens. So we've got our high explosives loaded, ready, and I'm expecting the cabinet. So there we go. There's the Akatsuki. We're expecting destroyers. We'd loaded our HE ready. You can see now the Yorck is kind of weird. Anything close range, it does have a very low, very flat trajectory with its shots, but as distance increases, the arc changes, I think personally, quite drastically. So that is something to be aware of. The Akatsuki's slowing down. It's almost at a halt. He's going to disappear into the smoke, but we are going to continue to fire at him. So that's one thing, and I've noticed myself. I've got about 40 ships currently. I do play this game a lot. I am a bit of a no-lifer with it. I'm not afraid to admit that. But with the firing arcs on ships, with them all being different, the characteristics of the ships being different, I can't stress enough. You need to learn how to use your ships to be an effective teammate. I do pretty good in general, but you're not going to be pumping out the 150,000 damage, getting your Krakens, if you're constantly swapping ships. So stick with your ship, learn its fire. See how high that firing arc was, a 4-kilometer difference to the Akatsuki we were firing at earlier, and all of a sudden my shots are God knows how high up in the sky. So we're going to try and focus this Iowa with some AP, see what kind of damage we can do. Is AP effective? Oh, as you can see, 14 kilometers. Look at how steep those shells come in. They're massive. Alright, Miyoko. Right, okay. So we're going to give it 1.5 times lead is my general like feeling out range for cruisers. So he's a bit more than that. It says 10 seconds. We're aiming like 17 seconds in advance of him. And this is really how you get a feel for these ships. You want to fire a small salvo off, get your bearings with your guns, and as you can see, we start doing some successful damage. I think he's going to turn away now, and we're gonna lose him as a target. So as you can see, this is where I'm starting like, yeah, all right, these guns are brutally slow. The turret rotation speed is so low. Would I bother fitting a mod or a captain skills to increase it? No, I don't think I would. They're so slow. I think, you know, the minor improvements wouldn't be worth it. So definitely look for increasing the maneuverability or your rudder shift time, because the ship's quite agile. It turns rather rapidly. So play to its strengths, not to its. You can try improving its weakness, but the turret rotation speed is so bad. It doesn't matter how many captain skill points you pump in towards that, how many mods you equip. It's never. I don't think it's ever going to bear any sort of real fruit. Now we noticed the Iowa decided to take a change of direction, and he's coming down the east of the island in front of us. I'm looking and thinking, well, right, I could go for cap. I'm checking out my torpedoes. This is where I realised, yeah, okay, torpedoes are really short range on this. I could maybe have tried to escape around the other side of the island, but I don't think it would have been fruitful. I think we would have been the last ship behind, and we would have been the first focus of him. We would have been broadside, and that would have ended really, really badly for us. So, right, okay, time to test out the frontal armor of the Yorck. Or I'm going to call this the Essen Yorck. If it's any ship that was ever a consideration, it's going to be the Essen Yorck. It's definitely not a rune class. As you can see, we get citadeled pretty much through the front. We were well angled. We weren't given broadside, so we now know in this ship that you're not going to get away with sitting out in front of an Iowa or any other large caliber battleship. So we use the maneuverability. We turn really sharply in front of him and plug in with a bunch of torpedoes and bag ourselves a tier 10 battleship for 70% of his health, I think. We've done about 30,000 damage. So what have they got? They've got 70,000. So yeah, about half his hit points. The Yorck over there is sailing away, so we're going to forget about him. There's not much we're going to do. Right, okay, so we're heading towards B. There's Baltimore. Baltimore's a very, very powerful cruiser. And there's also an Akatsuki. And we know where the Yorck is, and we know their Sharn. We can now see their Scharnhorst. Their Baltimore's over there. So we're going to stick with having HE loaded. We're detected. It's the only thing that could possibly spot us from where we are is the Akatsuki. So we're going to fire up our sonar. He's disappeared, so I think he's pegged it this way to the north. And let's get ready. Why I flicked to the main screen then, I do not know. But as you can see, he was flagged up just north west of us. So we're gonna try capping B. We're behind on points, so it's definitely the way to go. Notice our HE does huge damage to destroyers. It really does. So we're slowing down, we're turning, we're preparing to evade the Akatsuki's torpedoes, which you know at 5 kilometers. He's not going to do anything else. His guns aren't firing. I think we probably could have got away with not using our sonar if it wasn't already up. We bag ourselves kill number 2. And almost bring us back equal in points. I believe actually eventually we do actually win this game. So we're looking to see if we can get some shots in the Yorck. We know the Scharnhorst, well, its last heading, it was pointing in our general direction. So we're trying to keep an eye out for him. Trying to work with this painfully slow turret rotation speed. So we decide we're gonna focus the Yorck. We are definitely going to be paying attention to him for the immediate future. Anyway, we switched to our armor piercing because he was sailing broadside. He starts to turn towards us. He's still out of range, so we'll switch to high explosive, and he goes back to broadside. That's kind of the typical case, really, isn't it? As soon as you prepare to shoot at something. So he's 9 seconds away. We learned earlier, yeah, they're about 1.5 times cruisers for this particular ship. We just missed with that salvo. We're not detected because we sat behind this this neat little island. I'm worried about that Scharnhorst. I really am. He's not bagged himself any kills. I don't know how. Ooh, there we go. He's firing off some shots, but we're still not detected. So he starts turning away. We're looking to try and get a sneaky salvo or 2 of torpedoes off, and hopefully put an end to the Scharnhorst's reign. Them being full health, that would have been really helpful to have. Now I've got to give credit where credit's due. Alright, he's been over there on the east side. Doesn't look like he's engaged anything. He's been full health, but we get a salvo off into him. We're going to get a second salvo off, and he's obviously paid attention to the mini-map, seen we were there, speculatively fired some torpedoes around the corner, and ended us pretty quickly. But finishing off 68,000 damage, which for a second match in a completely stock Yorck, I think is a pretty good match in all fairness. And our team does then go on to win. But yeah, spend some time with your ships, get to know them. Don't keep switching ships and expecting to do Krakens and 150, 200,000 damage, because it's just never going to happen. Learn their quirks. Focus your captain skills on what's actually going to improve the ships, rather than I tend to focus on, if it's got a strength, buff its strength. There's no point in fighting weaknesses. Learn how to deal with the weaknesses, because it doesn't matter how much points you put in it, how many mods you focus on it, it's never going to be a good feature. And hopefully this has given you a bit of insight into the Yorck, or his Ezrunt Yorck. And well, until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.